So I've been having a bit of a reading slump. Not that it's all bad. I've been doing awesome work on my novel. My writing has been flourishing, but my reading has been slumped and it makes me sad. So I want to talk about it. Welcome to Writing Through It. My name is Eric, and sometimes reading falls flat, and that's okay. That's what I'm learning. It used to be that I would read something and I'd feel like it wasn't great and another book wasn't great, and I would just be like, you know what, I'm done because reading's not for me. This is, of course, a fallacy. It just meant that book wasn't for me, or it's not for me right now. Maybe someday I will love it. One thing I'm going to do in the future is not abandon the books. Like I wanted to get rid of and go through my list and take out all the ones that seemed like the ones that I'm failing to read. And I'm going to leave them in there, and I'm going to try the next one that comes up with an Audible. And I'm going to give you the 3 books that I DNF that are part of my August TBR, but because I finished my July TBR fast, I started getting into them and they kept falling flat for me over and over. And so I ended up getting through, well, not getting through, but I'm on my last book for August, and we're not in August yet. So the next video I'm going to make is going to be a wheel spin for a few more books to add to August, just to restart it, and we'll see what happens. I'm also going to take these books and maybe make a poll and ask you guys which one I should retry, but this time using Audible and checking out an audiobook, because I've not done that on a fiction novel before, only nonfiction. First book I want to quickly talk about that I didn't finish is The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. This is part of the Discworld, huge chronicle series, whatever. And I didn't jive with the style of writing. I felt disoriented. I could never feel my feet touching the ground. I got 50 pages in and just felt like it wasn't going to happen for me at this time. But the thing about it is, the reason I quit was because this was actually the last one I got to before I switched to the one I'm reading now, and the one I'm reading now has been really great so far. So it's reinvigorated me, but I didn't want to keep going into something that, this wasn't bad. I just couldn't get into the narrative flow, and for that reason, it made it like just kind of eat at my brain and made me not enjoy it. Not that the story's bad or the writing's bad, it's just different enough that I was not able to get into it, and right now I'm just trying to read things that inspire me to read more. And I enjoy as an escape, as a way of learning, all of those things. This wasn't doing it for me now, so we're going to set it aside and see if this is one of the options. Well, this will be one of the options you can vote for me to retry, but this time through audiobook. Next is The Black Company. This is obviously all of the trilogy, but The Black Company was one I started reading. I could not get into it. Just personal preference, I guess. I'm a veteran. He's a veteran. We served in different capacities at different times. I know he served a training capacity in mock combat with Marine Force Recon, I believe. I don't know what that means for him. I don't know what that experience. I think he was a forward observer, which is essentially the person who's out there looking at enemy encampments or targets and calling back coordinates back to the people who are actually going to launch strikes, artillery, whatever. And in the Army, I was trained as a field artilleryman, so I was a combat arms MOS, and that brought with it certain infantry capabilities. When I deployed, I never fired a field artillery piece, but we operated as this sort of quasi-infantry unit. So our experiences are different, and my experience with verbiage, with interactions with soldiers, was not in line with this, nor was it in line with my interactions I've had with Special Forces and Delta Force and Navy SEALs and people like that. The way they spoke didn't resonate as real with me. It felt like a parody, and that ate at me because it just was too different from my experience. And yeah, it's a fantasy book, but a lot of the praise that the book was getting was about how real and accurate the military portrayal was, and I didn't get that through, the first 75 pages or so, and then I kind of bailed out because it put me off pretty much, and that was just something I maybe can get over. I realized that this isn't a military factual nonfiction book, but there was just too much praise for the accuracy, and I just wasn't getting it because it didn't mirror in any way my experience with combat soldiers. And I could be wrong. It could be just the guys that I was around. They were not like anything like the people in here, as well as some of the names of the people were confusing to me. I couldn't tell who was who, what was what. It was super disorienting. Names like Mercy, so if you said show mercy, I'd be like, you talking about showing me mercy, or the guy or girl Mercy, or the chaos? Is that chaos is a person in the streets, or is it the chaos? So the names, it confused me. I could never get into it in 75 pages, but hey, maybe audiobook would smooth that out, because I don't know, maybe they changed the voices up for people and I would get it better. But yeah, so this is another one that's up for the vote. I'm probably going to put up on there, but it wasn't for me at this time. I'm not saying it's a bad book. I know it's loved by many. My experience didn't match that one in a way that was, oh, that's different. That's new. Yeah, I can see that. I just didn't see it. It did not match my reality, even in a fantasy world, enough for me to be able to get over the differences. The last one, To Kill a Mockingbird, another beloved, greatest novel of one of the greatest novels of the 20th century, I believe, is how it's talked about. Couldn't get into it. Was very bored getting into it, and yeah, I mean, I seem to fail a lot of these greatest books of the 20th century from around the world, except for a couple like 1984 and Fahrenheit 451. There are some that really resonate with me and I enjoy. This was not one of them. I didn't fully expect it to be. I was nervous about it, but I was more surprised with how much I got disconnected from it. But the writing style I appreciated, and there are certain elements that I love, like scene setting and the way they describe nature and things. I do dig that. It just never picked up for me. I never, in the first 50 pages, never got into it. So this is going to be up for a vote as well for one of the three. I might add a fourth one. I'm not sure. I'm not remembering. I feel like I'm forgetting a book that I recently DNF'd and was going to include, but I don't know what it is right now. So I am reading a book that I enjoy. I read a book that I enjoyed in between all these ones that I've been struggling with. I'd say out of the last 6 books I've attempted, one of them really captured me, and I'm grateful for that. So that was like 3 books that I was like, oh my God, do I not like reading? And then I got to this one book and I was like, yeah, I do like reading. And then I went 3 more and I was like, dang it, that was just one that I like now. No, nothing else ever again. Oh, that sucks. But then the book I'm reading now has reinvigorated me and I'm enjoying it. It's a long book, so I'm going to be able to enjoy it for a long time, but next video, I'm going to pull some more to get some on my shelves for when I do finish that long book. And I'm also going to throw up that poll and let you vote on it and see what book I'm going to re-add for my August back to as it originally was supposed to be in August. So I guess it will still be. This time it'll be an audiobook. So hopefully you'll check that out in my, community post, or I don't know. There's a new wall thing that I'm still learning how to understand and engage with, but bear with me. But also, if you want to be part of that and keep in track, subscribe to the channel. I don't know if that's the only way you get those posts, but if it is, make sure you do that so you can weigh in, and we'll see what book I'm listening to next month. But that does it for now. Hopefully I'll see you in the next video, and until then, journey well, my friends.